Stephanie here. Happy Tuesday because of the holiday weekend. This is my makeup for Make It Monday. So come on in and say, hey, I am going to be working on a versatile wreath. I'm going to show you how to start out some basic things, and then you get to decide how you want to treat it. But I'll explain all of that in just a moment. I'm going to be cutting some mesh at 20 inches, and I'm going to need 18 of them. So when you guys are really going to appreciate, because yes, you see, I started out with a neutral sign. It doesn't matter what time of year it is, what season it is, this sign is definitely a neutral sign. So that Simply Blessed, depending on what you pair it up with, can be anything. It can be anything. So when I say that, I mean, maybe you're making something for a new homeowner who likes red and black, right? So I can decorate this in red and black. Maybe they like blue and yellow. Guess what? The base is still going to be black, but I can decorate it in blue and yellow. You'll see. Watch the magic as we go through this. Now, I don't know if y'all are noticing, but I'm skipping every other one because when I do this technique, I like the way the mesh lays. When I skip every other one and then I go back and fill in over the top. I do put every other one on the inside row also. So it helps if try it. If you do the ruffle method, try it and you will see a difference, or at least I do anyway, on how your ruffles lay on the frame. So by skipping every other one, boom, boom, then when I go back to do the one in between, and it's kind of hard to see on this one, but let me see if I can show you. When I go back to do this one, then the sides are going to lay down on top of this one and this one. So it lays much nicer than trying to crowd it in there, and then it causes this to be pushed and smushed. So I do every other one. Mesh is 20 inches long. I use one roll of mesh, and they're 20 inches long, and you'll need 18 of them for this elevated work frame. And yeah, we're one roll for this technique, because guess what? We have other things coming. This is just our base. I'm going to show you how to take this base and make a very versatile wreath. Very versatile. A few colors around. So I chose this sign because this is also a neutral sign. So we're going to add this Simply Blessed in here, but now watch the magic. Watch what happens when I pair it up with these colors. Can you visualize what this would look like if I added oranges to this? I didn't mean to do that. But I also have some cream berries. Look at the view, the ambiance that brought out, right? I've got some greenery. I've got some, I brought out just some different orange flowers. And then now watch what happens if you throw a pumpkin in there. So I went from a neutral kind of, it could very well be spring, or excuse me, summer, and it could very well transition to fall, right? Now, if I throw a pumpkin in there, that's definitely fall. All right, but we're not done yet. Watch this. We're going to take that same base and we're What? Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to do this part of it. Wow, hang on, Stephanie. I got ahead of myself. By the way, look at that ribbon with that. If we add just an orange and black ribbon and make just a simple little bow, all of that comes together. All right, I can't forget the ribbon. All right, now let's take some different greenery. It's kind of a dark green, right? And let's take, oh, this one was my favorite. Hang on. I've got options down here. So, boop, 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 boop. Watch what happens when you throw those colors together. Now, I have, where's my ribbon that goes with, oh, yeah, look. This is a neutral, nice ribbon that can take you from summer to fall for sure. It's got a moss and a tan color, but look at how all of that flows together. Look at that. Now, let's see, what if we added, we're gonna take out, these are Color Fast Blue sunflowers. It's a huge bush. It does not come with the pipe cleaner, but there happened to be one close by. But this bush is huge. I think it's got 9 stems, and I'll put all the numbers here in it just a moment. So we've got that, but I'm gonna leave the same greenery, and now I'm going to bring smoke blue in here. Smoke blue, smoke blue. So it's a softer blue, but watch what happens when I add a different ribbon. I can still use that mossy, daggone it, I meant to grab one off of my shelf over there. Just by swapping out the color of the flowers and your ribbon, now you have a whole new look. It gives it just an extra layer of protection. It makes me feel better. Anyway. All right, now so for this one, because I'm going to be adding floral and greeneries to it, I'm going to center this on that wreath frame. So this is gonna go more towards the center. Also keep in mind, where are you going, if you're gonna add a bow, where are you going to add it? So I try to always keep that in mind as I'm designing. And then I'm also looking at where the twist ties are that I'm adding, lining it up with, because when I add floral, I like to put them in a twist tie. So I don't want to bury it somewhere where I can't get to it. So that's kind of, there's a twist tie above it and one below it. So that right in there is probably going to be a good spot. We're going to go with that spot. Okay. I literally am going to just start cutting because I know I'm going to be using all of these. I want it long enough that I'm going to be able to get it into a twist tie and add some glue and glue it to my mesh as well. So I'm going to do both. I'm going to add glue to it and use the twist tie. How do you tie off the sign in the back? So Pamela, I just did it. I know it's very difficult to see it black on black. I'll try and give you a close-up look of it here in just a moment on how I do mine. It's also going to depend on the sign that you're using, how many twist ties you have. But, gosh. So there's one of them. There's one of them. It came up through here. I went through a crossbar because there's the other one. There's a pipe cleaner up there, pipe cleaner up there. I found a crossbar and I tied it around the crossbar and then joined the two together. So one's up here, one's down here around the wire frame. Hopefully that helps you. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I know for a fact that we have 8 twist ties around the top. So I also, at this point, I'm gonna think about where I wanna put my bow. I already know I'm probably gonna put my bow down here at the bottom and have it kind of this way. You're welcome, Pamela. So I won't need any sunflowers down here. I might put greenery down there, but I don't need to cover up any sunflowers. So I also have these 2 kind of partially closed ones. So I'm going to kind of balance this out. Wait a minute, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 7. So I'm gonna kind of balance them out. They're all about the same size. And we will do one over here, one over here, one there, maybe one there. And this is just a guesswork. No, don't love that. Don't love that. Let's do this one there and that one there. And then one up here and here. And I still have an extra one. Daggone it. Here we go. Right in here. That's what I need. So I've got them kind of going around the sign, and just, you don't have to glue it down immediately, just kind of get your visual field. But that's pretty good for me. I'm gonna start by adding some glue to the tip of this. I may need to warm up my glue a little bit more. I like to have my glue about honey consistency, and right now it's a little bit thicker than honey. So I'm gonna heat them up, but I can still use it for sure. So I'm gonna put this right down and wiggle it down into the mesh. I'm gonna push that through the weave of the mesh with that glue on it. Sometimes it cooperates better than others. And sometimes it'll get hung up on that mesh too, so all good. There we go. It actually split the plastic on that one. That was too funny. Too funny. And now I'm going to take that black twist tie and I'm going to also twist that around that sunflower. Now, because that sunflower is on a wire stem, I can reposition it. I can make it do anything I want it to do. And I'm just gonna repeat that all the way around. Add some glue here, put it through the mesh. Here's my next twist tie. There we go. There is our base. I'm gonna bring this one down a little bit so it's a little bit closer to this one. I don't need them all symmetrical, so I'm good. Now remember, I use the twist ties to add my sunflowers. So I will not have twist ties to add to this greenery, but watch what happens when you add greenery to your flowers. How many of you guys mix greenery and mesh together? How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 7. Does anybody else do that? Mix flowers or greenery into their mesh wreaths? So I started out, ladies, with a 6-inch loop, and I really didn't measure because I wanted more like a whimsical bow. So they're all different sizes. So I started out with some 6-inch, and then I went down to a 5-inch, did a few loops of those, and then I stayed at 5-inch. I think I stayed at 5-inch. I'm pretty sure, or 4, somewhere around there. Carol, I agree. I love, love, love this one. So if you guys are just joining, be sure to go back and watch the replay, because this wreath, I showed you some really great ideas on how you can take this basic wreath base and this sign and make it whatever you want it to be, whatever color schemes you want, and how, I mean, just the overall effect of changing out the flowers makes a huge statement on how this can look. All right, let me get my wire around here. There we go. And before I tighten it down, make sure it's right centered where I want it, and then I can mess with the loops later. There we go. Now, of course, I'm not going to pull this really tight. I don't want it to smash down my mesh. I want it to sit kind of taut on top of my mesh, just so it's almost floating on top of there, but not shifting. And I can still yank it around and have a lot of fun with it. Now, remember, I kept a few things off to the side. So I kept one of these sunflowers, and I'm going to take my sunflower and go right in underneath my bow and make it apart. So now it looks like that's all cohesive. And I do have one more of the ruscus and one more ranunculus. So I think I'm going to use those. I truly do. I truly do. And like I said, you know, these are very, very affordable. If you've not used the ruscus, they do have that pusher, so they can slide and either stretch out, or you can have them collapse and be the shorter, you know, so it's kind of full at the end. So that is the ruscus. That one is sold 107. You can tell it's one of my favorites because we have plenty. I always keep that one in stock. And on this side, we're going to add our last ranunculus. Kind of balance that out. And I'm going up underneath the bow because that will actually help anchor that bow too. And with it being kind of a whimsical bow, then I don't get all bent out of shape that my loops aren't exactly in the right place, because I don't want them to be perfectly aligned. I want them to be fun. Let me just curl those under. And let me see, since I have the camera right here by my head, let's see if we can do this. Hang on. Let me see. No. Oh, there we go. There is the finished design. I'll try and get a better picture of it, but yeah, there is the whole thing right there. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that. Yes, I agree, Carol. I absolutely agree. Thanks, Charlotte. All right, y'all. I'm going to trim this up, and I'm going to go see about some dinner and then go teach my coaching group, my business coaching group. Thank you, Pamela. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. Now you know, make a versatile wreath base, and it can be any every day that you want, or you can make it a seasonal. Have a great night, y'all.